all, the grave never fall. As these podcasts keep rolling out in between phase 1 and phase 2 being learn, laugh, level up, I'm really working hard on that right now to figure out what that's going to look like and everything that's going to happen with phase 2. But these ones in between are kind of thoughts that I have, kind of reflecting on everything that's happened thus far in between phase 1 and phase 2. And the sense of accomplishment I got from doing 100 podcasts was great, but me being the person that I am, I also like to continue the challenge and not get satisfied or content with things in life. I like to always add in new elements and everything in my life, and that's how you grow, that's how you level up. And I was on Facebook one day and I was scrolling through my feed, and a memory came up, a shared memory, and I'll put it on the screen right now. And it was my awakening date, and I remember that day very fondly, but I could not remember the exact date that it was. And it was just, I don't know how things align like that, but I have been really trying to remember what day that was, what month that was. I was thinking it was in June, and it actually was in May. And I was close, and I didn't have the month right, and I certainly wasn't going to get the day right. So the weird thing about it was that it popped up right when I needed it to, right in between these two phases. And I remember at the time when I posted that, people literally laughed at me. And I remember thinking in my mind, every single person that I trust the most is doubting me the most. And I remember thinking, in around 2 or 3 years' time, a lot of these people, if things go right the way that I want them to be, these same people who are laughing are going to be the ones that are either not in my life because I jettisoned them and got rid of them because they were toxic, or they'll be in my life and they'll be patting me on the back saying, I knew you could do it. And that has come true. And I will never forget that day when I had the awakening. I was actually at work, and I went to the restroom really early in the morning, and I was looking in the mirror at myself, and I just woke up. I always say I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and if you've ever seen The Force Awakens, when Finn, the stormtrooper, had his awakening at the beginning of that movie, that's what I felt like. I felt like a discombobulated disaster for the rest of that day. And I remember going home, telling my wife at the time, I'm divorced now, but I remember telling her about it, and she was actually a little skeptical. I don't want to put her out there like that, but technically she was one of the ones that kind of doubted me in a way. But she had her reasons for it, and I won't go into them here, but I mean, because in a divorce, it's never just one person's problem. It's always several things. So I'll be the first one to say that I wasn't the only one who was responsible for us having a divorce. Part of my awakening was the problem, is that I was doing a very drastic change very quickly, and a lot of people that were closest to me could not understand how or why I was doing that. All I knew was that I knew that there was more out there for me to see, and that I didn't want to be content with the life that I was, the path that I was going down in my life. I was already a good father, but I knew I could be a great father if some things had changed in my life. I didn't feel aligned with a lot of things in my life. I didn't feel aligned with my career and my marriage and my friendships with people, my personal development as far as how physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I didn't feel aligned with any of that. And I just knew it was a change that had to happen. And in some ways, I didn't even have any control over it. So the message here is that when you have those moments in your life where you feel like it's time for a change, and you have those moments in life where you feel like you need to be going in a different direction, when you hit that crossroads moment in your life, and it's time to make an incredibly hard decision, you have to trust yourself. And I've always struggled with trust, something I'm heavily working on right now. But I remember in that moment, at that time, I trusted myself and battled through all the doubt that I would have, and said, no, we're going to do this. And I immediately started changing everything about my life. Wanting to lose 30 pounds, wanting to change my career, wanting to leave a marriage that had gotten codependent and toxic, wanting to do so many things in life that would lead me towards being a better person, a better father, a better family member, a better friend, a better worker, a better leader. And I think I'm on the path to do that now, and I'm nowhere near the finish line of the best version of myself. But the point is that I never would have gotten to this point had I not accepted the fact that a change needed to happen, and that awakening was powerful in that moment. And I felt it enough, it jolted me into this current state that I'm in right now, where I am living my purpose now. I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm living a life of freedom, of peace, and purpose. And I feel free, but I'm connected with a bunch of people who are like-minded, people who share the same values. And that's powerful for me. And I want that to be powerful for anybody who attaches onto the path that I am, or a similar path that I'm on, I should say. Be proud of who you are. Be proud that you had an awakening. Be powerful in that awakening. Trust it. Trust yourself. It may be scary. It's going to be weird to a lot of people. But at that point in time, that's where self-love starts to kick in, because you don't have time to worry about what other people are going to think about you when you have those awakenings. If you can go down and jot down everything about your awakening that is positive, if you have a ton of positive stuff there, then what are you fighting against? If you feel like your true calling is not what you're doing, what are you fighting against? If you feel like you could be in a better relationship with someone and you're in a toxic relationship, what are you fighting against? You're fighting against being uncomfortable. And in life, we don't have time to be uncomfortable. That's where everybody wants to be comfortable. But life is short, and being uncomfortable for a little while will lead you to a greater sense of comfort. And that is the struggle I think most people have. It's like trying to weigh being uncomfortable with being comfortable. How many challenges do you want in your life? How many are you going to create for yourself? Everybody's different. Everybody approaches their awakenings different. I just know that a wasted awakening is almost like having a wasted life, a wasted job opportunity, a wasted relationship. You never seem to get those back. So if you have an awakening and you feel like it's time to make a change, and you do nothing to act on it or to create an impact with that moment, or create a powerful new version of yourself, you essentially killed that version of yourself and didn't even get a chance to get started really on it. It's like blowing up the train before it even starts moving down the tracks. They're saying, why you didn't get to your destination? You have to get on the train. You have to do whatever it takes to get that train moving. You have to do whatever it takes to get that train over the mountain. And no matter what happens, you have to trust that you're going to be able to do it. And you can't worry about what everyone else is saying. You have to trust that, you're going to be alone for a while. You're going to piss a lot of people off. And hopefully, if you get through all that, that's part of the awakening. The struggle is part of the awakening. The struggle, the challenges, it's all part of the awakening. If you can't push through that, the awakening doesn't mean anything. So, I'll conclude this message with, be proud of who you are. Find self-love. Find that treasure of yourself within yourself, and stop worrying about what other people think of you. Think of yourself as the unique unicorn that you are, that your life is not a wasted opportunity, that you have so much more to give than what you're giving. And if you have those urges, don't fight against them. And if no one has told you this today, I love you. You deserve to hear that. Salute to you all. The brave never fall.